Hey, what's up? I'm back to give y'all an update on my week one of the Artist's Way creative recovery journey. And week one is recovering a sense of safety. Yes, yes, yes. And in my previous attempts, this was the week that I would always get stuck on because honestly, I never thought about thinking about the things that were brought up in these exercises. And then when it happened the first time around, I really got stuck. So I'm just glad to have gotten through this week, honestly. Okay, so I am just gonna go over some of my answers to a few of the exercises and then just say how I felt at the end. So, the first exercise for week one is like related to the morning pages. And she says to pull some blurts, like some negative beliefs that have been coming out of your morning pages, and take them and convert them into positive. So, a negative thing that was coming out for me was I call myself lazy sometimes, and I'm jealous of glamorous artists. And I converted that to I'm willing to rest and prepare to complete my creative ideas. I think everything is in preparation. That's what I'm learning. And I'm like, okay, if I'm truly prepared in the ways that I need to be, like, I wouldn't really have negative or space or a lot of space for, these negative thoughts to come up and bubble up. So that was important. Another negative is I can't focus on survival and art. And I switched that to I trust the image of my authenticity. I trust the image my authenticity will create for me. And at the end of the day, survival is what we're all doing. We're thriving, we're surviving, and we're making art. We're doing it all together. So it is what it is. I can't handle the pressure of my creative ambitions. I feel like my ideas be up here, and then I look at myself, and then my ideas are up here, and then I'm like, and then I said, I switched it to God will always ensure my needs are met. And that goes for everything. Like you can't really believe that for some things. Like, like I believe that for my housing and my clothes and my food. Like I'm like, I'm not even worried. I know I'm secure in those places, and you gotta be secure in everything. It don't work for some things and not other things. So yeah, I had a lot of coffee today. I had like a horchata latte, and I'm just like, I usually don't do coffee. I usually do yerba, and this is why I do yerba, because caffeine is just so tweaky. Okay, another negative is I think unsupportive environments are definite, and I said God is willing to support my creations no matter the scale. And that also is related to the first one I said. Not the first one, but the previous one. And then my authenticity will strengthen my discernment and lead me to the support that I need. That's always been true in my life. Honestly, I feel like the more that I'm in myself and the more I'm in my body, the more that I'm around people that get it. So I just wanted to share that because I feel like recovering a sense of safety is definitely like the top thing is reframing how your mind works, rewording, reshifting. And another one, the last one I'll share is, I fear my work being judged politically. And then I said, critics only pay attention politically to art that addresses the context truthfully. And all work really should be judged politically. So, when you're out here saying your truth, people are going to be politically picking it apart. And it's like, damn, we live in America. How is nothing political? It's exhausting, but at the same time, it's our responsibility, to be aware and truthful and correct. And I'm not going to be afraid of people looking at my art in that context, because this is where we grew up. This is where we are. This is just what it is. I feel like safety is really rooted in like just acceptance, and that's what I was really, really putting into my being. Okay. Another exercise is an artist date, and for this week I did something just simple. I just made it a point to try on wigs, because I decided to get back into my drag bag, and I was like, okay, I need wigs. And I went to my friend's house and I tried on a bunch of wigs, and then I went to the wig store next to me and I tried on a bunch of wigs, and then I went through my own bag of wigs, and I just made sure I made space to try on a bunch of wigs and just feel what I felt in them. It's not like a practice that I have, but it's a practice that I really want to get into, because I'm so against dyeing or messing with my own hair. I've messed with my hair my entire life. I'm over it. So wigs, I love wigs as an artist date. Okay, and now the crazy part that had got me stuck, okay, when I tried to go through this book before, and it is the exercises that basically she wants you to travel back in time and list 3 creative monsters and 3 creative champions. And for the sake of time, I'm going to name 1 monster and a few champions. So, one big monster for me was in high school, senior year. We got a new theater teacher, and she basically came in and stopped me from completing all of the work that I wanted to accomplish for my senior year. It was my last year in high school. I was a theater student, and I wanted to bring my monologues to competition. I wanted to be the stage manager of whatever play that our school was doing, and I just wanted to be involved as much as I could be. And it was just disheartening that this teacher, I think her name's Miss Thomas. I think I looked her up recently, Angela Thomas or something. I know she had positive experiences with other kids, but for me, not my cup of tea. She essentially was not advocating for me, and that was disheartening. And when I was trying to do or be the stage manager of the musical, I think we were doing Dreamgirls, she essentially just didn't support me in that either. And I found out that she was talking smack behind my back, and everything that I tried to do, I just got pushed back from her. There was also another teacher there, Mr. Brown, who was also there, and they were beefing. These 2 grown adults were beefing, and because they were beefing, kids were in the middle of it, and our creativity were in the middle of it, and people were getting chopped. And I was the first one on the chopping block. Like, I feel like neither of them really wanted to like support me or make sure that like I had the senior year that I deserved. And to be honest, that really colored the way I approached college. Like, I only applied to like one theater school. So they were some big monsters for me, and when I had to write that down the first time, it really was just like why. I just don't understand how people in their 40s could look at someone in their teens and just not want to help them. And yeah, obviously, I feel like that was really stopping me from having a sense of safety in my creativity. Like, even like throughout college, I feel like I had a wall when I was trying to be creative, and it took a lot. It took a lot of, positive people to come into my life to like reframe that for me. So that's all I gotta say about them. Okay. And another exercise is to write about a horror story, and I wrote about basically the time that I really wanted to bring my monologues to competition, and they were just like, no. And they said no because they were beefing and they wanted some other kid to do it who wasn't even prepared. It's fine. It's fine. Just kill a teenager's dreams. Like, it's fun. I bet it was fun for them. Embarrassing. But I think writing that down and like really thinking about it and being like, wow, actually, yeah, they were grown adults doing this to kids for no reason really put things in perspective for me. And I was able to like be like, okay, I'm letting that go. But on a much more beautiful note, you're creative champions. This is the exercise that really made me be like, wow, okay, like I had people who did have my back, who did see the talent, who saw the genius, who saw that I could offer something. And I want to uplift my favorite dance teacher in the world, Rashad McLeod. He has passed on, and I learned that on my birthday in 2024 when I went to go to the Alvin Ailey exhibit. I was there and I was just thinking about him because he was the first person to introduce Alvin Ailey to me. And when he introduced Alvin Ailey to me, I understood dance and emotion on a new level. Alvin Ailey is definitely one of my biggest inspirations in creativity because he understood that dance was about emotion. And I feel like other dance teachers would, really get on me about my technique. And it was hard for me to conceive technique when I was young. I was just like, I just want to, And, Rashad McLeod was just the first person to really look at a room of young, black, thick dancers and be like, don't let anyone tell you you can't do it. Like, I rarely heard that from teachers. And he just really fought hard for our individuality, and he fought hard to just really instill these things. And I'm just sad that he's not here anymore, but I'm so grateful that he decided to come back to his hometown and teach us and just show us the way. He also introduced like the Wiz choreography for like, can you feel a brand new day? Like, that's also one of my biggest inspirations for creation too. So like, he really put forth things that resonated with me, and I just love him for that. Shout out to him. R.I.P. to him. And another champion that I want to shout out is Jim Hammond of South Florida. Jim Hammond, I came across him when I was also a teenager, and he was running a program for teenagers that helped us create our own theater companies and our own written and directed plays, like ourselves. And it was called Broward Entrepreneurs. And when I think about it now, I'm like, I'm an entrepreneur. But I applied and I got in, and that was just amazing that him and his wife decided to put time aside to help like 7 teenagers create their own theater companies. I wrote my own play, directed my own play, and then I had to act in my own play on top of that. And that was the birth of like Niku and like Niku Productions, actually. And he just showed me that I could do it, because at that time I think I was like a sophomore going into junior year, and like the theater teachers at my high school were like non-existent and also didn't really like believe in my abilities. Like I remember my theater teacher coming to see that play that summer and then changing my schedule to advanced theater because they were like, I didn't know you could do that. But I knew I could do that, and he knew I could do that. And so his belief was everything. And that just really was affirming and amazing. And I'm so proud of 17-year-old, 16-year-old me who went in and ate that. Okay. And I want to shout out another creative champion that I had, which was a peer. His name was Darius Roberts, and I say was because he has also passed on in like 2023, and we went to middle school together and high school together, and he was always just so sweet and so supportive. And he was in that play with me, and like we were like doing different roles, and like I just love him for that, because you know in high school is tough, okay? And having someone, a peer that respected you, he was also a grade above me, so like him respecting me was just like so yeah, thanks Darius, rest in peace, I appreciate you. And those are just 2 of the champions. I wrote down more, but I want to be here forever. And then another champion, or another exercise was like write down a time where you had a vote of confidence, okay? And what really also boosted my confidence in my creative journey from high school to college was that my senior thesis, okay, in college won Best Direction. Yes, it is. And it's on this YouTube page, and it's called Fruit Snacks. And that was really my first film, my directional film debut. And it's like about this girl who has to sell fruit snacks to get through college. Oh crap, my friend's here. Okay, I'm coming. And to wrap this up, I want to share another exercise, which was basically reframing negative thoughts into positive affirmations again. So it'll be negative thought, positive affirmation. Okay, ready? No one sees my talent. Creativity is the creator's will for me, and I'm free and willing to strive for success through creativity and with creativity. Theater is no place for me. I don't have the body for dance. I don't deserve to be successful in art. My God-given body can be used any way I see fit. I will find my place in any industry I work in. God bestowed me the gift of creativity. Therefore, it is ever present. I recognize that I am a talented artist. And just to conclude, I think that with the combination of the daily morning pages, the combination of reframing negative thoughts, the combination of the exercises like artist dates and taking an artist for a walk, and the time traveling and reframing those experiences in the present, I can say that I definitely felt my safety, rising. And I say that because I felt a shift in the way my ideas were coming back to me. Like, okay, Doechii has this line, and I think in her song Death Roll, and she's like, I love the way my ideas flow when I'm not scared. And I think that encapsulates what this week is, like recovering a sense of safety. Feeling a sense of safety for me means ideas are coming to me without any resistance. They're like, and I'm like, ooh, yes, write that down, And I felt that coming back. Like, I actually lost that for a really long time. Like, I would say, like, 2022, 2023, 2024, I was like, oh my gosh, like, nothing is like jumping at me, nothing is screaming at me, like, I'm not connected. And there have been a lot of other things, like the resources I mentioned in my previous video, that have led to me having a greater sense of safety. But ultimately, this week really solidified that for me, and I was like, okay, that is what safety means for me, feeling free to kind of just express myself. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.